Next, real-time CX in 5. So these are the 5 most critical components of real-time CX as determined by martechtoday.com. So number 1, customers want to feel they are cared for. Here's a quote: "The most important thing that customers want from brands today is to feel like they're cared for." I think you'll see this kind of unfolds with what we've already kind of talked about and agree with. Number 2, adapt as needs change. Number 3, proactively provide relevant information. Number 4, customize to the current situation. Number 5, consistent and connected across channels. Frank, what do you think about this?
I mean, it's all true. It's all good. I think that if you're to actionalize this, you've got to have a way of measuring it. That's my only thing. It's like people say, oh, I think we're doing X. I think our customers are happy. As evidenced by what? I mean, we've seen plenty of studies. Like Blaine had an interesting study just 2 years ago that talked about CX. It basically polled large organizations and said, do you think that your customers are happy about your customer service? And like literally 90% of them said, yeah, I think they feel really, really good about us. They polled the customers, right, to get voice of customer, and they literally found out the polar opposite. Like 10% of those customers felt like they were really, listened to and appreciated and cared for much. And so I think that it really all comes down to measurement. I think they hit it right on. I mean, MarTech has got it right, and they're focused on it the right way. Learn and adapt. Well, learn and adapt means, again, measuring it. Are you tracking those conversations? Do you have, surveys that are going out there? Are you engaging with people on the right channels? Do you know that they want to be engaged? All these things, it's perfect. But I think when you read through it, you have to say, next, how do I do that?
Yeah, I think that the second one there, adapt as needs change, that is the most general statement ever, because how are you actually adapting, right? Something they said really, really powerful here. Every channel is here to learn and adapt along with all the others so that you speak in one connected voice and so that it's one brand to one customer. And that couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, that's exactly what we're all trying to do in the CX world, I believe. But, as you're adapting as needs change, that is kind of that gray space. That's that space in between. Like, what does that mean? How does that look like for each individual component, each individual CX leader?
Yeah. And it is true, like that the context is, don't let a bad customer experience lead to a bad brand experience, because that brand experience can be extrapolated in terms of impact in a very palpable way. So, yeah, I mean, I think all these things are good. They do have a specific generalities approach to this, but I think this is the starting point. These are good items to dig in.
Yeah, without a doubt. Now, that's not to say you're going to wake up one day and say, we've arrived, we've adapted. It's a constant struggle and a constant battle to continuously adapt.
We've adapted. We're there.
Here.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist.
Well, there's a great saying that kind of builds on what you just mentioned, which is how do you open up a small business? You open up a big